Hello guys, how are you today? And welcome to another episode of F1 in a Week, where I talk about this week's F1 news. They say a second is a long time in Formula 1. Imagine how long a week is in Formula 1. So, the main thing obviously to talk about this week was testing. The last day of testing was last Friday. I did do a video doing a whole review of testing, so make sure you go check it out if you can. I'll leave a description to that down below in the comments. But yes, obviously, it looks like Ferrari are up there with Mercedes. Red Bull are there and about. It looks pretty decent for Williams, but bad news for McLaren. That's the big thing from testing. It looks like they're going to have another season in the wilderness towards the back of the grid, and it's quite sad to see that. But I don't want to talk more about testing in this episode today, because I did a whole video on that. I did so many videos about testing. You should go and check it out. So let's talk about other F1 news. Now, sad news. John Surtees passed away last week. He is the only driver to have F1 both motorcycling world championship and obviously the Formula 1 world championship. He won in Formula 1 for Ferrari in 1964, while in previous years he had won motorcycling world championships. I'm not a particularly big fan of, currently MotoGP. I never really got into it or had the time to get into it, but I guess we have to respect, the drivers, the riders, and it's a skill, I suppose. So we have to respect someone like John Surtees, who was able to do both MotoGP and Formula 1. And we know Lewis Hamilton has occasionally showed an interest in MotoGP, and maybe that'll be part of his future if when eventually he retires from F1. But it is very sad that John Surtees died. He is a legend of the sport. All of the big names of the sport were, saying stuff on Twitter and everything after he died on Friday. And it was sad, really sad thing. Just, before the new season and everything, it puts a bit of a downer on it. But, he'll always be a legend in the sport, forever. And I guess that's important. Next thing I want to talk about, and this literally happened today, Thursday the 16th of March. Paddy Lowe has officially joined the Williams team, according to the BBC. I'm sure that happened already, but maybe not. But yeah, he left Mercedes after last season, and he's now going to be the chief technical officer at Williams. They had a positive testing sessions, I would say. I think that's a fair reflection on Williams. And Paddy Lowe is obviously a very experienced man. He's been in the sport for as long as I can remember, and for even longer. I believe he started in the sport in 1987 at Williams, actually. So a nice way to go back to the team. And we obviously know at Mercedes, James Allison is going to be the new guy at Mercedes, replacing Paddy Lowe. James Allison, who was an ex-Ferrari man, as we all know. And I'm hoping the Williams is a nice British team. It'd be nice if Paddy Lowe can help the Williams team, because they struggled a lot last season. And hopefully with the new regulations and stuff, I guess he won't be able to do much for this season. But by next season, 2018, hopefully he'll be able to push him up grid just a bit. Anyway guys, it's now time to go on to the other part of this episode, where I talk about what happened in this week, but in previous years, in Formula 1. So, on the 11th of March, in the year 2000, that season started. It was Jenson Button's first race, and he actually had a pretty challenging weekend. In practice on Saturday morning, he crashed 160 miles an hour, and which is pretty sad. He had been up there on pace, but he had a huge crash, and then he only qualified in 21st place for that Grand Prix, and then he actually was having a good race, but then the engine blew up, which is not great for him, is it? He was in 6th place, which would have scored points, but at that point was the final points-paying position, but the engine sort of blew, which is pretty disappointing. But ultimately, he had quite an amazing career. He won the World Championship in 2009. He'll be pleased with his career. And yes, this is going to be the first Grand Prix that I can remember, this next Grand Prix coming next week, that Jenson Button hasn't taken part in. Anyway, on the 12th of March, the 2006 season started. This was Schumacher's final race in his first F1 stint. Final season for Ferrari, and big thing for that Grand Prix, there's two things. First of all, that was Nico Rosberg's first ever race in Formula 1, world champion in 2016. He started his career in 2006, F1 career in 2006 in the Williams team. He actually set the fastest lap in that race, so showing some promise already, Nico Rosberg, even though I hated him for most of his career when he was at Mercedes. But whatever. And the other big thing for that was the first time they had Q1, Q2 and Q3 for qualifying. Before you set one lap and that was it, or maybe 2 laps. But this was how the new session started. Remember, it is still like that today, as we know. Apart from for a couple of races in 2016 where they had really awful new rules in qualifying. And yes, so that's quite a big day in the sport, I guess. New qualifying rules must have been quite nerve-wracking. But the rules of Q1, Q2, Q3, now they were quite cool. I think you'd agree. Anyway, finally, 16th of March. March, which is today. It was Rubens Barrichello's 250th Grand Prix start. He was in the Honda, which at that point was quite a slow car. Still, Honda's quite slow, but that's the Honda's works team. It was the Australian Grand Prix. He got disqualified for going through the red light in the pit lane. You would have thought after 250 races he would know not to go through a red light. Just saying. And anyway, that Grand Prix was won by Lewis Hamilton in his championship winning year from McLaren. Anyway guys, I'm coming towards the end of the episode. Tell me in the comments if you have any views on any of the news or about testing or anything at all. And yes, I'll see you guys next week for some more F1 news. Thank you for watching my video. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to leave a like. If you have anything to say about this video, please leave a comment in the comments section below. If you really enjoyed this video and you want to see more videos like this and other types of videos, please subscribe to my channel. Also go and check out the video that should be on screen right now. And on that note, I'll just ask you to follow me on Twitter at BigGaming342 and like my Facebook page, BigGaming342, and I'll see you guys very, very soon. Goodbye.